Chapter 4. Ghost in the tub. Wei stood, pulling June up with him, looking to the door that leads to the toilet and shower area. There's something else we have to take care of tonight before we can sleep in this apartment. June looks at the front door and then to the shower room door. You mean what you did at the front door didn't take care of it? I don't feel the cold and grief I felt before. Wei says, let's take our bags into the bedroom, and I will try to explain it in a little more detail. June suggests, let's put our clothes back on. Wei responds, no, not yet. We still need to look at the shower room, and I don't think we should have our clothes on for that. I have a strange feeling about that room. They pick up their bags and open the bedroom door. From the door, the sleeping area angled to the left. The head of the bed and two nightstands rested against the common wall shared with the kitchen. A window was in the wall, just above the headboard of the bed. The bed as in one large bed. June looked up from the bed and said, I thought Dr. Ho said there were two twin beds. Wei pointed to the bed and said, it is two twin beds. Someone has pushed them together to form one large bed. June looks around at the nightstands, the bed, the floor, and then turns a questioning look toward Wei. Didn't he also say that this apartment has been vacant for 5 years? He even said, no one has been in here in 5 years. Wei, there is no dust anywhere. Look, he points to the nightstands and the floor. It even smells clean in here. Wei says, that clean smell seems familiar, almost natural in origin. He snaps his fingers. It's ozone. Like the smell of a rainy day with lots of lightning. That's what the smell is. June responds, ozone? Do you know what phenomenon is associated with the smell of ozone indoors? Ghosts or spirits? Wei, that feeling I had coming up the stairs and on the front door, that was the feeling of death. I think someone died in this apartment. Wei looks at the two twin beds pushed together. I think maybe 2 people died in this apartment. They leave the bedroom, walk across the living room to the door that opens to the toilet and bathing area. Wei reaches out and grasps the doorknob to open the door. He stops with his hand resting on the doorknob. June, slowly place your hand on the door and tell me what you sense. June looks at him for a second, takes a calming breath, and then slowly places his palm against the door. Prepared for the cold feel of death this time. He didn't flinch or pull away. He let his senses flow into the door and beyond. It feels different than the front door. There's no anger here. I feel sadness and despair, but no anger. And Wei, I think I feel 2 distinct individuals. No, not 2 but 1. No, wait. 2 but the same? What does it mean when I feel 2 but the same? Your senses in this case are much more specific than mine. I can sense the sadness and despair, but not the individuality of the being or beings. I do sense that it is safe for us to enter. Almost a welcoming. He turns the doorknob and opens the door. They turn on the lights and step into the room. About 2 meters in front of them, against the wall, is a large sink and mirror. About 1 meter into the room on the left is a door. Opening the door, they see the toilet. Opposite the toilet room door is another door. June, this is the door to the shower room. Placing his hand on the door, Wei turns to June and motions for him to do the same. June places his hand on the door, and a slight gasp and sigh escapes from his throat. Wei looks up at him to see tears in his eyes. What is it, June? Are you okay? He places his other hand on June's cheek. June stutters out, I feel them crying. The sadness is overwhelming me. He removes his hand from the door and leans against Wei as tears run down his cheeks. Give me a moment. I need to restrict the way my chi flows through my emotions. Looking at Wei, he says, they are both in the shower room. I believe it is where they died. From the amount of sadness and grief I felt, I think they may have committed suicide together. I'm not sure, but that is what I sense. After a moment, Wei says, are you ready for me to open the door? Block away your deepest emotions and prepare yourself. June nods his agreement. Wei slowly opens the door. He turns the lights on, and they peer into the room before stepping in. The smell of ozone was so heavy in the room that you can taste it. It's a large shower room, 2 meters by 3 meters. There are 2 showering stations next to each other with plastic stools and mirrors. A wall-mounted mirror just less than 1.5 meters up from the floor that can be used when showering standing up, and a mirror less than a meter off the floor to be used for showering from the stools. Against the far wall is a large deep teakwood tub with a long narrow window on the wall, close to the ceiling for ventilation. It was the tub that attracted Jun's attention. Holding Yue-Ying's arm, he points to the tub and says, "They are there." Yue-Ying pulls the 2 shower stools over to face the tub, but a meter away. He places one in front of the other and instructs Jun to sit on the front stool. He then sits on the stool behind Jun. He leans up against Jun's back, pressing their bodies together, takes Jun's right hand, his right hand, and places his left hand over Jun's left hand and crosses them over Jun's abdomen. "I'm going to touch our rings together and say a few words in the ancient language and see if we can bring some peace to our friends. I want our chi to control our auras and demonstrate peace and safety. Maintain strong control on your emotions. Don't allow yourself to be swallowed by the sadness. I just found you. I don't want to lose you so soon." Jun lifts his head, looking at the tub. "I'm ready." Yue-Ying brings the rings together and begins his chant. "We are here to ease your pain. We are here to free your soul. Place your hearts in our hands. Free yourselves from the sadness. We are here to ease your pain. We are here to free your soul. Place your hearts in our hands. Free yourselves from the sadness. We are here to ease your pain. We are here to free your soul. Place your hearts in our hands. Free yourselves from the sadness." During the third chant, Yue-Ying could feel the tears on his arms coming from Jun. He tightened his embrace and continued the chant. The warm glow of their auras merged, reaching out, and slowly dips into the tub. A ghostly image of 2 young men emerged from the tub and drifted toward the 2 men, praying for their souls to be released. The spirits of the 2 young men reach out and caress the blended auras, and then slowly flow within the bodies of Jun and Yue-Ying. The 2 young men inhabit the bodies of the priest and the Korean. They were able to hold each other one last time and look into each other's eyes. There they found the love and forgiveness they needed to move on, out of this world of the living, to find their place in the world of the dead together. Jun and Yue-Ying's auras faded, and they collapsed against each other, exhausted and in awe of what they had witnessed and been a part of. They held each other for a long time as they quietly cried together. It was an hour before either of them made an attempt to get up. Yue-Ying stood and helped Jun to his feet. They were both physically and emotionally drained. Yue-Ying decides to put the shower stools back in front of the showers. They sit and give each other a hot shower, making sure to rub all the sore muscles in their backs and legs. They passionately kiss each other, but they are both so drained from the day's highly charged events and the evening encounter with the 2 ghosts that they are unable to focus on anything else. They finish their shower, dry each other off, and make their way to the bedroom. It's not even 8 p.m. yet, but they both decide to pass on the mandatory new arrivals dinner. They will deal with the consequences tomorrow as they have breakfast with Dr. Ho. They both look at the twin beds, pushed together to make one large bed. Yue-Ying looks at Jun and says, "We are never separating those beds." Jun nods his agreement, and they both fall into the bed in each other's arms and quickly fall asleep.